Hey, what is going on, Comic Book Familia? We are back with our monthly show, Advanced Orders. These are comic books that are coming back, that are coming out in May, and it's my turn on my channel. And Peter, how's it going?
Very good, mate. Very good. Excited to do some good books. But Efren, before we move on, don't think I haven't noticed. You're a sneaky little thing. Doctor Strange in the background. You've changed again, haven't you?
Yes, I put it up there today, and I go, I wonder if Peter's going to notice.
I
I'm trying
like
to put
it.
my statues up there behind me. I had, I think, Wonder Woman for the last couple of shows, and I put up Doctor Strange, and I'm going to start putting them up on a reoccurring basis. Just switch them out every couple of shows.
I'm liking that one, Efren. I'm loving the colours in it. It looks very cool, actually.
This one, they're heavy. So when I carry them over, I'm very careful, not to trip or fall, but man, I got this Doctor Strange about 3-4 years ago, something like that. One of the last ones I bought. So
very cool.
I'm digging it. I like this one a lot, and I have an Iron Man 2, and I have some Star Wars ones I'm going to be putting up just on a rotating basis. I'm just going to put them up. So
good stuff.
But before we go any further, we're just going to go on StreamYard. On comment, see who's around, and anybody who shows up, we always appreciate it. We have your best friend StreamYard.
StreamYard,
so always there. And we have Fuzzy. Thank you for showing up.
Fuzzy.
And Deadman.
Deadman. Nice to see you.
Nice and easy. So
nice and easy.
I don't have to worry about how many people show up. I got to go through the comments, which I forget a lot. But this is our advanced orders where Peter and I pick comic books that are coming out. And these are books that are coming out in May. When you sent me your list this time, Peter, because it's on my channel, I was going, dang it. A lot of the books that you picked are the ones that I had chosen too. So I had to, do some further investigation and pick some other books. But are you ready to go?
Yeah. I can't believe it's me. Can't believe we're looking at May's books already.
Crazy. No, just to give everybody a hint, we are going to be doing it. There's a lot of Marvel.
Hi, Peter.
My daughter's cameo. So I noticed that you and I picked a lot of Marvel books this year. No matter how far, we always say we like reading stuff besides Marvel. Marvel always seems to lead the pack. So as far as books are concerned.
It's funny, Efren, because we've talked lots of times about how we've kind of moved towards preferring indie books.
Yes.
But for the last year or so, I've started to drift back into Marvel. And I don't know whether it's because I think Marvel are the I can't speak. They're starting to lean more towards an adult audience. So if I look at some of the books I'm really enjoying at the moment, Avengers Twilight, Punisher last year, Daredevil last year, it feels like they've embraced a little bit more of the adult type storytelling again, which I'm just loving. I'm loving.
That Avengers book that you just mentioned, I stopped buying comic books for about 2 months, advanced orders, and it was during that time I was like, and I regret not getting those books. This is a fantastic story.
The latest issue is stunning. Absolutely.
I'm ready yet. Let's see who else we have here. GP.
Hi, GP.
Hey, GP. And we got a comment here by Fuzzy. Marvel has really upped their game recently, though. Yeah,
I agree.
I've noticed that too. Fuzzy. And they made a on Instagram. They announced that they're going to come out with a whole new set of X-Men books. They're going to. I was like, and I got excited. I went, oh my god, I can't wait for this to come out. I was like, oh my god, we can see. Opened up my wallet already and buying these books. But we'll see how it goes. But let's get going. Okay, these are recommended. These are coming out, like I said, in May of 2024, and I believe you are. Oh, shut up and take my money. I forgot about that post I put up here. And you're up first.
Well, the book we've just been talking about. This is Avengers Twilight number 6. Look at that stunning Alex Ross Hulk cover. Man. It just looks amazing. But also the internal artist has done that secondary cover there, and I'm loving his art style, Efren. It's grim and gritty, and it just fits the story beautifully. If you are a Marvel fan, if you're an Avengers fan, and you've drifted away for a period of time or whatever, this is the book to pick up and get back into it. It's got very much Dark Knight vibes to me. It's set in a kind of a grim future where the government's taken over and things, and people's liberties are being suppressed. Captain America comes out of retirement to try and kind of put things back on track. I'm not going to spoil it, but last issue had an obvious but great reveal at the end. that makes perfect sense with the story. I'm keen to see what you think of it, everyone, when you read it. Just superb, just really superb. And this is issue 6. It's a short series, this one. So this is the last issue. Sadly, it could have been strung out a lot longer, this one, I think. But anyway, the end has come. A horrific bomb has been dropped, and its fallout can't be contained. Avengers and Defenders rise to save the world, but death stalks them all. The sense-shattering series concludes here. I can't sing the praise of this book enough. And sorry, Efren, I'm a massive Thor fan. This book is doing Thor proud. His lines in it, his delivery. There's a scene in the last issue, I'm not going to spoil some of his great scenes, where he's hovering and then he lands and you can feel the weight and the strength of him hitting the ground. I just love it. Love it.
I'm at the issue where the last page was Thor. They showed him.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm just
Captain
an issue
Shall
behind.
We Assemble. I love that line. Yeah.
And this Hulk picture, I just noticed that I'm not sure if those lights represent anything. There's 2 on his chest and 1 on his leg. I'm not sure where that's from.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is as well.
But I just missed out on getting these books when they came out, man. Like issues number 1 and 2 by Alex Ross, these great covers. Yeah. I just went, oh my God. And then I started reading it. I'm going, and like I said, I quit buying for 2 months, and it was during the beginning of this run. It's like, but I'm going to WonderCon next weekend, so if they're around, I may get a couple of them.
Well, we were very kindly donated a copy of Avengers Twilight #1 for the charity stream we did. So that got picked up on the charity stream. But when I was in Dublin recently, I spotted a copy in a local comic shop, and I got a copy of Avengers 1, Alex Ross cover, and I paid cover price almost for it.
Wow,
so they're still out there. Yeah, they're still out there.
Cool. Right on. I am. Oh, let me see some messages here. I got some from Fuzzy. The main book for May is Gargoyle of Gotham #3. Yeah, I've been reading that. 5 months has been too long a wait. Wow.
I have to be honest, Fuzzy, I've lost interest. And that's awful to see because issue 1 was so good.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of, it's irritating that I'm waiting so long between issues.
Yeah, you lose interest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Cunha has been great on Avengers Twilight art. Yep, that's going to put up that second picture. I think the one on the bottom right is Daniel Cunha.
Yeah, it is. It's stunning.
I got more one from Fuzzy. I want to see this on a big screen. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Fuzzy, it's interesting because I was thinking that the other day that, in 20 years' time or something like that, just like Dark Knight, this is the story that they should use to bring back the MCU, I think. So, you know what I mean? 20 years' time or something like that, get Chris Evans back as Captain America to pick up this storyline and bring them all back to do this. Yeah.
And one more from Fuzzy. Even the Deviant is taking a 2-month hiatus. Yeah, it's just, we expect these books to be out every month. But it is what it is. Got one more from Deadman. I'm saving #2 of Gargoyle to read when #3 comes out. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. I am up next. And I picked this book because first of all, it's Avengers 14. I like this cover by Chris Baccio. It has Kate Bishop as Hawkeye on there, So this is a Blood Hunt tie-in. New team lineup debuts with the current Avengers tied up and under siege during Blood Hunt. Captain Marvel calls for aid, and who better to assemble a new team of Avengers than Steve Rogers? Captain America gathers the forces of Quicksilver, Hawkeye, Hercules, and Hazmat to take on the hordes of vampires attacking all over the world. Yeah, so right now the Captain America and the Avengers is Sam Wilson. And I haven't started reading Blood Hunt yet, but I know it has to do with vampires. Yeah. It looks like Steve Rogers is going to assemble a new team, which I always love when the Avengers assemble a new team for some reason.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this Blood Hunt is decent. I'm very wary of big crossover events and things like that.
Yeah.
But Vampires has got us interested. So, yeah.
But I thought that was a cool cover, So I always wonder, the old Hawkeye, which is one of my favorite, Clint Barton, he's just not showing up a lot in comic books anymore.
Yeah, he's not around. He is in, there's a new one, isn't there, with him and Black Widow, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I've not read it, mate. I've not read it.
Message here from Fuzzy. I will read the main story. I don't want to read all 40 books, though. It's impossible. Yeah, that's for sure. Same. And you're up next.
So this is a tie-in to the Blood Hunt. I have to say this was just a pure cover kind of pickup for me. It looked cool. You've got Dagger on there. You've got Man Wolf. and Hawkeye, who we've just been talking about.
Yeah.
It just looks interesting. The werewolf side of things got us peaked straight away. This is the first in a new anthology series. I always like my anthologies. I think they're a good way of telling stories. And it explores how the shattering events of Blood Hunt cover the breadth of the Marvel Universe. Hawkeye is on the run, but does he have enough trick arrows in his quiver to avoid both the long arm of the law and vampires out for his blood? And then you've got a man-wolf tail and a cloak and dagger tail as well. So yeah, cover work looks great. Just an interesting book, I think.
Here I stay, Hawkeye's not showing up a lot, and then he shows up on
straight there.
Perfect timing.
As if you planned it.
Yeah, let me see what here. But he says that white box kills. I think he means the previous cover. And,
no, I think he means the white box covering the Blood Hunt, does he?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. And we have one here from Fuzzy. I'm not paying Fuzzy to make all these comments, but I do appreciate it. Because I enjoy Black Widow and Hawkeye. I haven't read it yet, so that's good. I'm looking forward to reading it. And I am next. The Immortal Thor #10. I've been enjoying this series, and of course these Alex Ross covers just grab me all the time. It's like, dang, these covers. The son of Odin faced 3 of his greatest foes in battle with the fog of magic closing around him. Yet even if he won, he lost. For Thor fought not for his life, but for his death. So this is the story of the Immortal Thor and Minotaur's final triumph. Yeah. So I've been reading this storyline. It's great. I've been enjoying it. So that's what matters to me. So
yeah, I'm enjoying this run.
Thor,
Yeah, I'm enjoying this run as well, Efren. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah,
I like the cover on the upper left-hand side.
Yeah.
I think I'm not sure who the artist is, but I really like the way the hammer is enlightening and everything. Can't read the writing on it. I think it's Greg Capullo.
Looks cool.
Right, you're up next. Look at this cover.
Come on, just look at the cover, man. Just look at that. I'm buying that just for the cover. And normally I prefer a Virgin cover, but I don't mind the Doom on that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think it looks very cool. Always a sucker for this character. I find Doctor Doom a really interesting character. Legendary creators Jonathan Hickman and Sanford Greener. Sent Doctor Doom on a journey unlike any that he has undertaken before. With Valerie Richards at his side, again I love Valerie Richards, Doom goes on a quest to harness more power than any human has ever wielded before in order to try and stop Galactus from bringing about the death of the universe. Yeah, sounds interesting. I'm in on that.
This says it's cover artist by Adi Granov, and it almost looks like a photograph.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's quite Alex Ross, isn't
it? Yeah. So, yep, I seen this cover too. I went, oh my God, look at this cover. Yeah. Okay, I picked this one. I haven't read the series yet, but I remember you mentioning it. You said it was a good storyline.
Yeah.
So, I haven't read issue number 1 yet, but I'm going to. And I've never read a Power Ranger book ever. You recommended it, and I like this cover artist, Nakayama, and David Nakayama. So it's written by Amy Jo Johnson and Matt Hodson. And Amy Jo was one of the original Power Rangers.
That's right. Yeah.
So looks like when artists are like specifically involved in their characters in movies or TV shows, it shows their passion comes through.
Yeah.
It's part of their life. With this one says, with the green dragon power coin in the hands of someone's identity that will shock the rest of the Power Rangers, a fateful battle on the moon commences. So yeah, I haven't read issue number 1, but you recommended it, so I'm definitely going to read it. And I just think it's a cool looking cover.
I'm not a Power Rangers fan, but really enjoyed this. I think it's a good little story. So yeah,
and that's all that matters, is that we enjoy reading books.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. All right, you're up next.
Ooh, so I mentioned this on the Saturday show a little while ago. This is Garth Ennis returning to Punisher. Loved Garth Ennis's run on the Punisher back in the day. And this is him pitting Frank Castle against Nick Fury. It's 1971, there's war raging in Vietnam, and Nick Fury is being captured by the Viet Cong. At this moment, they don't quite understand that they have in their possession a man who knows enough secrets to damage the United States beyond comprehension. The CIA, however, does realise this and can't risk their enemy getting those secrets, so they dispatch the most deadly man in the US Army, Lieutenant Frank Castle. I think this will be cool. I think this will be really, really cool. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. And I love Garth Ennis's work. He's very, very he's a very entertaining writer. You're muted, Efren.
Oh, this book is an homage to, I believe, the first Punisher on,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a good storyline, you know. Do you ever think the original Punisher is going to come back somehow?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think so. I hope so.
Yeah, me too. When we got a Who Dat showing up, Who Dat is all the way in Louisiana, you know, so
Oh,
good
wow.
guy. Yeah. And I am up next. This book, and here we go with the indie books. This is called Crocodile Black. It says here, what makes someone turn to crime, especially in a modern pandemic-riddled dystopia? Danny, a seemingly mundane young man lost in escapism, with a spiraling lack of control over his life, witnesses something during a delivery job that will change him forever, turning things as dark as the black crocodile skin boots he can't take his eyes off of. In this criminal thriller from Eisner-nominated writer Philip Kennedy Johnson, Action Comics, and rising star artist Samath Paul, the morally gray turns to cold-blooded murder. So,
Interesting.
yeah. So I don't know what this book is about. I just like the premise of it. And, you know, this is a book that I'm definitely going to be buying and reading. So, yep, it's Crocodile Black #1. See how it is? We'll review it in about 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. I like the sound of that.
Let's see, got a message here from Fuzzy. Mark Millar sequel to Big Game. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that, Fuzzy. I didn't know there was going to be a sequel.
Nemesis Rogues Gallery, it's called. Nice. I love it. That was a good series.
Yeah, that's interesting, Fuzzy. I like that.
You're up next.
Well, yeah, Ultimate Universe. So we've had the relaunch of the Ultimate Universe. I have to say, for me, it's been hitty missy. Really enjoyed Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Black Panther is okay, but not necessarily my cup of tea. And you know, put your fingers in your ears, Efren. Peach Momoko's X-Men is just rubbish. I didn't like that.
You told me that.
Yeah, not my cup of tea at all. But this looks interesting. So this is the kind of the team book from the Ultimate Universe. Obviously, the Ultimates, back with Jonathan Hickman, who's an incredible writer. And it's basically Invincible Iron Man assembles a new team of Ultimates in the series that kicks off the next chapter of the new Ultimate line. So yeah, in some of the characters on there look really interesting. So we've got the original Thor, Captain America, Sif, Iron Man, a Giant Man, and Doom. But that's, I think from memory, that's their version of Reed Richards.
Okay.
In that. So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, looks interesting. Keen to get into that.
I'll be reading it.
Yeah.
And I'm up next. Star Wars. I picked this cover up as this an homage, to Star Wars from years gone by. I just like the cover of it. You know, it has Anakin and drawing a blank on her. Jesus, man.
Ahsoka.
God, I just drew a blank. That old man there. So, but this is Star Wars High Republic #7. It says, death at the heart of Nihil space, hope in the midst of despair. Jedi Master Keith Trennis has gathered a band of battle-weary Jedi pirates and wanderers. But how long will they remain united as the children of the storm make their move? So look, they're trying. Star Wars is trying to just keep on going. So yeah, but I really like the cover of this book. So it goes old school. So that's why I recommend reading this one. Hopefully, it's a good read. So
I've not read a lot of Star Wars. I have to be honest. It's not something that I kind of jump to. I need to. We read that Vader down, and that didn't really blow us away. But I do need to get into some Star Wars, I think, and just see what I think of it. Dark Droids. I missed the end of Dark Droids. Did you see the end of Dark Droids?
I haven't finished it yet. I haven't finished reading it yet. But I think it's harder for Star Wars, and I say even Marvel Comics, to create new characters that people really like.
Yeah.
Everybody's always likes the old ones. Darth Vader is always going to be the head bad guy, no matter what. They move forward, So let me see here. We got a message from Deadman. Will the change of artist for a few issues of Ultimate Spider-Man bother you? I haven't read it yet. What about you, Peter?
It does, Terry. Do you know what? I don't mind changing it up, but if it's, I think it's bad if it's not a consistent run of at least 6-7 issues. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a couple of issues in, changing artists and stuff, that's not good for me. I like the consistency because you get used to the storytelling and the art style marrying up. That's exactly why I'm a little bit nervous about the changes in Transformers, because I've been enjoying that so much. I don't know if the change in artist is going to impact on that for us as well.
What about writers? I mean, I'd like writers to stay for at least a year, to get some momentum. But I know they get burnt out and they want to do other things too, So
yeah, I think you can't make any meaningful impact on a character in a few issues, can you, really?
Yeah.
So I prefer... But then again, the opposite to that is if you stay on a title too long, you know, like some of the Spider-Man stories from a little while ago, you know, you can kill a character, you can kill the momentum of a character by just churning out tripe, you know. So sometimes it's not a bad thing.
And we have Canadian Survivalist showing up. Hey, thanks for checking out our channels. Peter will be in this same spot a month from now, but he'll be the host. All right, you're up next.
Oh, I love a bit of Union Jack. This is a character I really like. For those of you that don't know, obviously the UK has got Captain Britain, Brian Braddock, but we've also had Union Jack in the comic books for a number of years. A couple of different versions of him. I like his costume. I have to say I'm not so fussed on this mask that he's got on this time. I'm not sure where that's all about. But I like the standard of the costume. And this guy's basically a British... Think James Bond, but with superpowers a bit and more kind of active. So yeah, I love the character. I'd love to see him in the Marvel universe. I'd love to see him. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think Jason Statham could play him quite well. Anyway, this is another Blood Hunt tie-in. Lots of tie-ins to this series, but this is as vampires inherit the earth, one lone man has made it his mission to protect it. But what does Joey Chapman, Union Jack, have up his sleeves? So yeah, I think this would be pretty cool.
Yeah, an awesome looking costume that he's wearing too. I agree. You know, the helmet or whatever it is looks a little bit off.
Yeah,
but the rest of this costume, you know. So yeah, hopefully it's a good story. We have another message from Canadian Survivors. Always entertainment, gentlemen. Thank you. That's what we aim to please. So, and I am up next. I picked this one. I don't know it's artist. It was one of my favorite artists, E.M. Gist. He does a lot of work for Trinity Comics. Yeah. And the cover hasn't been shown yet, but his drawings are so lifelike. So hopefully this one will be a good one. And next month when we do our show again, maybe if this one was available, we'll see what the cover looked like. I'll bring it up. This is the vampires' first strike has laid low the world, and their endless legions run riot across the planet. The broken Avengers join the fighters of the Midnight Mission and unlikely allies, Bloodline and Dracula, in seeking out the man who can do something about this, Doctor Strange. So I probably is going to be a Doctor Strange cover. And hopefully it's a good cover. Yeah. So
sounds interesting.
Yep. And you're up next. I love this cover.
Ooh, again, this is the one that Fuzzy mentioned earlier in the show.
Oh, yes.
Batman Gargoyle of Gotham. First issue of this was absolutely stellar. I loved the kind of the Elseworld take on it. I loved the Bat costume, the new design of the Batmobile, all that kind of stuff really, really kind of floated my boat. We then waited a long time for issue 2. And issue 2 I didn't personally feel was as good or as strong as issue 1. It got a bit weird. But now I just feel like we've been waiting forever for bloody issue 3. It's just ridiculous, really. I can't understand why these things aren't pretty much just ready to churn out. Do you know what I mean? You can't tell us that they've not got it all set up. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, this is coming out. I'm really excited to see how the next issue goes, and hopefully it will continue with the strength of the book, because it has been pretty good so far. May the Hour of the Devil begin. The harrowing journey through the dark heart of Gotham reaches a fever pitch in this penultimate installment of Raphael Grampa's visionary series. Batman's investigation leads him into the deadly lair of Dr. Geist, where his presence is not only expected but welcomed. And that cover looks mint. I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that one.
I know you like reading books. You like buying books, like the novel part when they're all done. You think you may wait on this one and just wait till everything's done? Or
I think do you know what? I probably, unless I'm reading it for the Killer Comic Show or something like that.
Gotcha.
I'm probably going to leave this now and pick it up in like a large scale format, a hardback format.
And the Killer Comic Show, you're going to be on it right after this, basically, right?
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Plug for them, so you can switch over to their channel right after this. We'll keep you entertained 24/7 somehow. Looks like Fuzzy says there's a new character, a new character too in this issue, Little Joker. Oh, yeah. Is it a baby?
No idea. No idea.
I'm up next. I picked this one because come on, it's Godzilla, and it's the 70th anniversary. So this is old school Godzilla to me. When I should see him like in the 60s, you know, like just wrecking havoc. on a city, you know, chewing up on a train. You know, you see the helicopter in the back, and reminds you of old school Godzilla all the way. And
Very
it's like
cool.
70th anniversary. I was like, dang, man. So celebrating 70 years of Godzilla since 1954.
Wow.
Godzilla has been king of the monsters, and what better way to celebrate than with a gigantic anthology of tales that get to the heart of Godzilla's lasting popularity. So
very good.
Looks like it's just a one shot. So yeah, I picked this one. I go, looks like this is awesome cover.
Yeah,
you know, like old school Godzilla.
Looks cool. I like a bit of Godzilla.
Speaking of which, we got Perpetual Comics evening, folks. My favorite two from that lot over on Triple G's channel.
We've just been plugging Killer Comics Show, Andy.
Yeah, we've just been plugging your show, so hopefully, you know, everybody will stay tuned in. Not on this channel. It's going to be on a Killer Comics channel. Yeah. You're up next.
Oh, look at it! This is something epic. This series is epic. This is one of my favorite ongoing comics of the last few years. Written by Simon. I don't know how you pronounce it. Is it Simon Krasinski?
Simon.
Sam, I can't remember, but
basically
this is a story of a guy who's got the power to kind of see imaginary friends and people's imaginary imaginations. Basically, this is part of the second arc. Not really. I haven't read the last issue. I don't know if it's out yet, actually, so I'm not really into the new arc yet. Look at JP, something boring. How dare you, JP? How dare you? I have to say, this cover just jumped out at us. You know, the old school Game Boy. With the image of the duck on the cover. I just think it looks absolutely spot on. So really looking forward to getting this. This basically says, with no new leads to follow, our detective duo schedules a meeting with the most unusual epic. So epics are the people who can see the kind of the imagination land, whose unique abilities might help them to make a break in the case. Yeah, can't wait. Love the series.
I agree 100%. The first arc, I wonder if they thought that was going to be it. You know, it was just going to be that one storyline, but it became so popular. They said, why don't we keep on going? You know? So it just benefits us. So thank you, guys. Let's look at some of the messages here. Let me see here. We got this message. It looks like GP saying who, me and Fuzzy. No, me and Peter. It says exactly GP. Hope you're doing well, Andy. You guys are talking to each other, and then how dare you, GP? See what else? Oh, I dare, and that other one he did. I gave up first issue.
Blood Commandment. You're insane. You're insane, JP. Blood Commandment was superb, absolutely superb.
And I'm golden, GP. Hope you're doing well too, pal. If you guys want to come on the show, I'll give you the link, and you guys can keep on talking. You know. I hear new arc is just as good, even for new jump-ons. Right on. Yeah, hopefully it will be a good arc. Yep. Yeah. And I am up next. Holy Roller. When I first read the premise of this, it says a guy with a bowling ball. I read the first issue, though, the first couple of issues. I go, wow, it's entertaining. So that's why I chose it. And this is a continuing series. It's from Image Comics. This is Holy Roller number 6. It's written by Rick Remender, Joe Trollman, and Andy Samberg, who was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Saturday Night Live. So the world has gone mad. One man is at the center of it all, determined to hold back a toxic tide of hatred. One man with a bunch of trick bowling balls is all that stands between us and the end of civilization as we know it. My kind of story. You know, so, guy with a bowling ball.
So this is, I know Fuzzy's a big fan of this one. This is a really cool story, actually. I've enjoyed it. It's funny. It's got great art in it. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one as well.
Let me see. We got some messages by Andy. Rick Remender, this has to be good. Yeah, it's a good storyline. You know, very entertaining.
Yeah.
And Deadman, this has been fun. Holy Roller, that is.
Yeah.
Thanks. And we have one more from Fuzzy. Holy Roller is great. Issue 5 came out this week. I love it.
Yeah, not read issue 5 yet, Fuzzy. I'll have to get on.
I think I'm up to issue 4. So yeah, it's been a good read. These are the kind of stories and books that surprise me, and which I appreciate more. You know, I don't think I'd ever read a book with a guy and a bowling ball, but it's, you know, they're making it work.
Yeah.
And you're up next.
This was a one that I saw the cover for, and it kind of piqued my interest. So not heard of this one before. I've not heard any chatter about it really, but the cover looked really, really good. And it's Scotty Young. I love a bit of Scotty Young. I've quite enjoyed some of his series where he's written them, like, was it Midsummer or Midwest or something, I think?
Yes,
that
Midwest.
Was pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, I quite like a bit of Scotty Young work. So this one basically says, look, God, that's small writing.
Want me to read it? I can.
No, you're all right. I can get it.
Okay.
Ryder put her violent past behind her when she fell in love and became a mother, but that was before she learned it was all going to be taken away. Now she'll have to pick up her guns once again and ride to kill the one who's behind the threat. Sounds a little bit Kill Billish to me. So I'm a big fan of Kill Bill. So yeah, quite keen on seeing what this is all about.
By the way, we're going to start a GoFundMe page. We're going to buy Peter some glasses.
Yes, I've got me glasses somewhere. How dare? That's just me age. You know what I mean? There we go. Yeah.
Let me see. We got a quick message here from Deadman. Ordered Ain't No Grave. Love Westerns. This was going to be one of my picks. I was only kidding, Peter. This was going to be my pick too, but you chose. I went, see, man, now I have to find some other ones. And it was called Middle West. Thank you,
Middle
Fuzzy.
West. Yeah.
See, put on your glasses on, old man.
What was the other one that Scotty Young wrote? That was a kind of a horror one. Was it The Me You Love in the Dark or something?
Yeah, it was a female artist, and she began an affair with a ghost.
That's right. Yeah, it was a bit weird, that one. Yeah.
Yep.
How dare you?
I am up next, Farrell. I think this is going to be a hit. It's by Tony Fleece, and it says more animal horror in this ongoing series from the creators of Stray Dogs. I think once this book comes out, everybody's going to be into it like they were with Stray Dogs. It says Elsie. This is issue number 3. Elsie, Lorda, and Patch learn the rules for survival, but will they follow them? In a forest infested with rabid monsters, the indoor cats can't afford to make any mistakes.
Has anybody read issue 1 yet? Is issue 1
Has it come out yet? I don't think it's come out yet.
No,
I don't think it's come out. So this is just issue number 3, and usually it takes about 2 months for issues to come out. Yeah. So I think it's probably coming out issue number 1 sometime this month. You know.
Yeah.
So, but I love these, and the artwork is by Trish Forstner, who also did Stray Dogs. It just grabs me. I just love it. You know. Yeah. So definitely going to be reading this one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I got a message from Fuzzy. Just ordered the Scotty Gun exclusive earlier. Nice.
Oh, I saw your image of that, Fuzzy. Yeah, it looks very cool. I like that.
I think this is for this book. This one's coming out on the 27th. Oh, yep. Comes out next week. There we go. And you're up next.
So let us explain. I saw the cover for this, and I thought, oh, it's Big Bear. And then I saw the title, Bear, Pirate, Viking, Queen. What more do you need to know? Yeah. This sounds brilliant. Absolutely batshit crazy brilliant. It's a mini-series, and it says a blood splattering story of conquest, bears, pirates, Vikings, and queens, all battling for their claim to determine what the world will become. That's enough. That's enough for me. Yeah, I'm buying that.
Yeah. So yeah, I looked at this. This was going to be one of my picks too. I'm going, what is this all about? You know, so this will make, like I said, this is why we enjoy reading books. You know, something out of the norm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely going to read this one and pick it up. And this is an ongoing series. There's a place called Shrouded College, and it's going to be second anthology series. I think this is the second, so to speak, chapter of this. It's going to be an arc with all these books that are part of the Shrouded College. And from what I understand, once these books are done, they're going to combine them all to make like a series, you know. So it's a, very expanding arc. So this is miniseries finale, the epic conclusion, the second story in Charles Soule and Will Slimy's Shrouded College cycle ends here with a terrifying, thrilling finale. The Hill family of magical astronauts is desperately trying to complete their mission to return to Earth alive with their cargo of vampire prison escapees intact. So this is the second arc, and the first arc, was another book. So I don't know how many arcs are going to be, but they're all going to be combined at the end, from what I understand. And it's, it's a good storyline. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until it's kind of concluded and then pick it up, I think, and see what it's about, because it sounds, I know you've talked about it a bit. It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, good storyline. And we have a comment here from Deadman, Bear Pirate, 72 pages, $5. Why can't they all do that? That's a lot of pages to read.
Yeah, good value for money, that.
For sure. And you're up next.
Oh, look at that, man. Look at that cover. God. So this is the Energon Universe 2024 special. I'm not sure if this is free Comic Book Day or what, or if this is I don't know if this is coming
Oh
out
yeah,
for
this
free
is
or
number
not.
one at
Yeah,
2024 special. Yeah.
but oh, it is. Sorry, it's free comic book day. It just looks
Okay.
amazing. Now I struggle to get these things at my free comic book day. So if anybody gets a chance to pick up an additional copy, please do pass it my way. Little plug there. But this just looks superb. I love the cover. This is a cover buy for me. He's got his Energon axe out there and everything. It just looks great. So featuring 3 new stories from the Energon universe with stunning revelations for the worlds of Transformers, G.I. Joe and Void Rivals from the biggest names in comics. Perfect jumping on point. Can't wait to get this. Excited to see what happens in this universe this year.
And it's written by Robert Kirkman.
Yeah.
He did The Walking Dead. Yeah. Great cover. This book, when I said The Boy Wonder #1, I said, I'm there.
Yeah.
To me, Batman's sidekick has always been, Robin, the Boy Wonder. And this is issue #1. The artist is Cliff Chang, if I'm pronouncing his last name right. When he was the artist for cover stories for Wonder Woman when they had one of the reboots, and I did not like those covers at all.
Yeah.
But for some reason, this cover I really dig, and it's the same artist. It just depends on how they draw or what they draw.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a pretty cool cover. It says the young Prince Damian Wayne was raised to be heir to the fearsome League of Assassins, to follow in the footsteps of his deadly mother Talia and the demon's head himself, his grandfather Ra's al Ghul. But everything changed when his father, the Batman, reclaimed him and brought him back to Gotham City. As Robin, young Damian suddenly discovered he is merely one of a number of princes, proceeded in the role of his brothers Nightwing, Red Hood, and Red Robin. So basically, Damian is going to go out on some adventure, but he finds out that he's going to need his brothers to help him along the way. So I just love this cover. It has Batgirl, Nightwing, and Damian Wayne Robin on the cover. So hopefully it's a good read.
And it's nice to see that Damien's thinking of his health there because he's got a banana in his hand, hasn't he? Is he eating a banana there?
Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, uses up a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's a good cover, that one, Efren. I like that one.
I need to put comic books listen too. Guys, talk to me afterwards. Seriously, send me a message. Maybe we can work something out because for New Comic Book Day, there's all kinds of comic book stores in San Diego, and I'll grab more than one.
It's interesting how different places do it, Efren, because where I am and Fuzzy, I'll go in and you're more than welcome to have whatever I get. But what they do is you can't pick what comics you want. So when you walk in the store, they give you a plastic bag and it's just a random selection of whatever they've got. And it's not all the books, you know what I mean? It's a handful. So quite often you'll come out and you'll have utter tripe because it's whatever they can't get rid of, whatever. It's very rare that I go in and I manage to get a hold of any of the ones that I wanted to read.
Yeah. Fuzzy, send me a message once New Comic Book Day comes around. It's basically the opposite where I'm at. I go to this one comic book store and they have a table spread out with every freaking comic book that you want. So yeah, just shoot me a message, guys. As long as you guys are willing to pay for shipping, I'll get them for you guys. Not a big deal. Okay.
Efren, just jump back, to the Energon one because Terry's saying that it's got a price on it. Just go back a slide.
Huh.
Just jump back on your slide deck a second, Efren.
Oh, jump back on the slide deck. Hang on. Get rid of this.
A special new printing of the Energon universe. Right, okay.
So Comic Book Day special.
Yeah, so there must be a one coming out for Free Comic Book Day, and then this is a reprint of it that you can buy. So this is May, isn't it? So Free Comic Book Day, I don't know when that is. I don't know when.
Yeah, it's coming up.
So there must be a Free Comic Book Day version, and then this is a version you can pick up and buy, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's probably what it is. Yeah. And you're up next. Another bear one. You and bears.
Yeah. Me and bears. This is just. And I apologise to anybody that watches our show regularly, Efren, because it must feel sometimes like we're talking about the same book month on month. But I can't not recommend these books. Do you know what I mean? Because some of them are so good. So I need to recommend them every month. This is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. This hasn't dropped a beat as far as I'm concerned. Every issue has been stellar. Every issue has had stunning artwork. I just love everything about it. Absolutely love everything about it. And we're getting to the end point now. So, at the end of this issue, someone will die. There's no way to avoid it, so we simply won't try. A horrific plan drives the fate of our bear, and unspeakable actions will give quite a scare. Join us now as we finally lift the Velexus, the
The
Sorry,
veil.
the veil.
Just the veil. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the veil. As this, my friends, is the end of our tale. Wow, lush. Can't wait for this.
I wasn't even going to read this book until you recommended it and Dr. Von Hoot.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I started reading it. I go, oh my God, this is such a good story. So you look at the artwork at the beginning and going, what is this? But then it starts delving into the character, especially the main character, what he does. I said, okay, this is a good storyline. So
I'm loving it.
So you got a message here from Deadman. Hopefully my parcel arrives tomorrow with number 4. Cool. Exactly. Blotted storytelling. Best book I've read this year. Yeah. Really good storyline. And I am next. I haven't read, this is a continuing series, is What If Carter Burke Had Lived. Carter Burke was from Aliens, the second movie. Everybody thought that he had died. They never showed him died, but this is a what if story. It says the face huggers hit the fan as Burke's plan goes horribly awry. Desperate to capture the life-saving adaptive qualities of xenomorph DNA without Wayland Yutani's knowledge, Burke and his only friend, a damaged combat synth named Cygnus, have brought Burke's own worst nightmare right into his living room. So I've been hearing good things about this book so far. I haven't read it yet.
First issue was good. First issue was very good.
I'm definitely going to be reading this, So Fuzzy says, love the first issue of this. Cool. Yeah. Fuzzy gives a thumbs up. It's got to be good, right?
It's quality.
Yeah. It's quality. And this was another one I was going to pick.
There's no way I'm reading that different. But so this is a character that never really, I don't think, hit it that big over in the UK unless I just missed him. But I know he's popular over in the States. This is Space Ghost. I've always been intrigued by this character. They relaunched him, maybe 5-10 years ago, I think, with Alex Ross covers. And I picked up on some of them. They were very cool. But it's not a character I know much about. So issue number 1, I think it's a good jumping on point. I will pick this up just to see what it's all about and learn a little bit more about the character, I think. Yeah,
I love this cover. And I'm the artist. The writer is David Pepose, who's doing The Punisher right now.
Oh, yeah.
So, great looking cover. I wasn't going to pick this one at all, Peter. And I can't believe Peter didn't pick this one.
I didn't see this one.
So when I was getting the slides ready, I was going through a list because something happened on Canva. Some of the pictures were corrupted, so I had to find them again. And while I was looking for them, this one popped up. I was like, wow, I completely missed this one. So I think this is the last one of our slides for advanced orders. This is Into the Unbeing. It's by Dark Horse Comics. It's issue number 1. It says a group of climate scientists working in a remote base camp on the Australian outback discover an impossible landform. They venture inside, expecting the unexpected, and the titular Unbeing delivers. So it says, true to the tradition of cosmic horror, they discover an, I can't even pronounce this word, environment that defies everything they think they know about the world. Yeah, this looks really interesting. I like that. And I just picked this one at the end. I had not picked this one at all, but like I said, I was flipping through the pages because I lost a couple of the pictures.
Yeah, I missed this one completely. I didn't see this one.
Yeah,
and so that's a cover that would normally jump out at me.
So.
Yeah. Looks cool. I'll be getting that one.
This guy right here, Louis Russellage, he is one of my oldest friends. We worked together for over 20 years. And whenever I go to Comic-Con or WonderCon, he's always with me there. So thanks for showing up.
Cool. So nice to see you, Louis. Nice to see you.
And Fuzzy says, I haven't seen this yet. So I just caught this one at the very end. I was gonna not even choose it. But I go, oh my God, this looks so interesting.
Yeah, I like it.
So we'll see what it is about in May. And nope, no way. So this is one of our newer segments where we pick a book each that we don't have any interest in it at all. So if you show interest in it, kudos to you. But to us, we didn't really like this story. So you're up first.
Rob Liefeld, isn't it? Rob Liefeld still churning out the newish characters from back in the day that he was desperate for people to love, but I don't think anybody actually liked. So this is Bloodstrike. This is trade paperback. I've just got no interest in any of these characters that he designed, they all look the same. They've all got the same kind of designs and body types and things like that. It just doesn't do anything for us. I might be doing it a complete disservice, Efren. Somebody out there might be a massive fan and think this is a great story or whatever. It's just not for me. I think I'm pretty much done with Liefeld's work, to be honest. So this says Bloodstrike is back. A new recruit to the Bloodstrike program is compromised and struggles on a covert mission that puts him on a collision course with his former squadron. Unload the guns and ammo in this action-packed spectacle by Rob Liefeld. I'll pass, thanks. Guest starring Brigade and Bloodwolf. Again, two other characters that I think he designed that. Yeah.
And like I said, these are just our opinions.
Yeah.
So if you like it, more power to you. And Fuzzy says here, their names are all very similar.
Yeah.
I've been reading this book, and sometimes you read a book and you're just like, what am I exactly reading here? It doesn't really grab my interest, and I'm still reading it because I want to finish it now. This is God's number one. It says, brings the power that be and the natural order of things together to stop a Babylon event from rewriting the universe. What nobody realizes is that none of it matters anyway. This is kind of how I feel about the book. These gods they act more and more human with all their pettiness, So the only reason I'm reading it is I think it may lead to something else in Marvel, like a continuation. But Doctor Strange stars in this book a little bit, and it just has these two gods, different sects, so to speak, but they're battling, and two of them were married, but then, they're not anymore, but they're going on this quest. And sometimes you read something and it just goes right over your head. So I really have to read it again. So this is a book that I can't really recommend, but I am reading it, but I want to finish it.
So I read issue 1 of this, I think it was, for the Killer Comic Show plug, going live at 9:00.
Yeah.
And it hurt my head. I quite liked elements of it, but other elements I just thought, and then part of us thought as well, why are you bringing new characters in when the story could have been given the Doctor Strange treatment? It felt odd to just invent new. So I have to admit, it did intrigue us, and I did plan to read on, but I just haven't. I've never picked up a book since issue 1. Yeah. So I will probably go back to it at some point and binge the first arc of the first 6 issues or so.
I just want to see if it leads to anything. Yeah. But, I agree with you 100%. So let me see here. Lewis says, I love to hate Liefeld. He has his moments. He does.
He does.
I think Fuzzy agrees. This confused me on issue number 1. I never went on. Yeah, I'm so stubborn. I just said, I'm going to read this no matter what,
I feel that mind a lot with Hickman's work. Some of it is brilliant. Sometimes I think I'm just not clever enough to understand what he's doing because it's so complicated and convoluted.
I was reading an X-Men book last night. I was like, oh my God. It just had so many little, bubbles for the words all over this one page. I was like, this is so confusing. Sometimes I think they overwrite. And got here from Dead Man. I saw some Dick Tracy covers on the Comic Geek channel. Then I saw a new Dick Tracy book out in May by Mad Cave Studios. I went right past that. I've never seen it. Like Noir Stories. Any interest for you? I do love Noir Stories, but I have never, ever read a Dick Tracy book. So maybe I'll pick it up.
So I've never read a Dick Tracy book. I've seen the movie with Warren Beatty. Really enjoyed that. But again, another shameless plug for the Killer Comic Show next at 9:00.
At 9:00.
I may be talking about a Dick Tracy book on that show.
Oh, nice. There you go. A little sneak preview. Okay, this is our comic book review. This is an actual book that we've read, and we're just going to review it. Peter picks one book, and I pick one book. And you're up first.
Yeah, Jeff Lemire, Fish Flies. Have you read much Jeff Lemire work, Efren?
I have read some because of you, but I can't name off the titles right now. I haven't even read the storyline yet.
He did like May's book, and he did.
Yes, there you go.
What was the vampire one? Was the vampire Little Monsters or something like that?
Yes, I like that. Yep, those are 2 books that I read.
I find his work really interesting. It tends to start with an interesting premise, and then it kind of loses its way quite rapidly, I find, and I get a bit, again, I'm just not sure if I'm just not clever enough for his writing.
Yeah.
Fish Flies, I read the first issue, and I thought, what the hell is going on? This makes no sense at all. But I persevered and read the next couple of issues and got, as each issue went on, I got more and more confused and more disillusioned with it. So I was very, very ready to give up. Then issue 4 ended with a bit of a kind of an interesting cliffhanger. So I thought, I'm going to give issue 5 a last go. If issue 5's rubbish, I'm out, you know. But this has pulled us back in. It's kind of, it's making a bit more sense now. So this is the premise. Sorry, we should say as well, spoilers, guys, if you haven't read these books. This is the story of a young abused kid. And in the town that this kid lives in, there's a store robbery. And the person robbing the store shoots another child, and then legs it into the kind of the American cornfields and things like that, and bumps into this young kid who's in an abused family. At some point during that, there's this weird story about these fish flies. I keep saying fish flies. These fish flies that appear in the Midwest or wherever, and are like little fly water creatures that are all over the floor, real things apparently. For some reason, that's not explained at all in issue 1, 2, or 3. The guy who's murdered the kid just turns into a giant fish fly. And you kind of, each issue, you're left with the story of, is this real? Has the guy turned into a monster? Or is it just the abused kid seeing him that way? Or it just gets very confusing and odd. But the latest issue, issue 5, has started to kind of explain that there's a bit of witchcraft going on in the town. There's a lot of history to this. This has happened before. He actually is a creature. So it's started to get us a little bit more interested again. I struggle to recommend this book until I know how it's going to conclude, because it's all kind of resting on the end of the series, I guess. So this is a one for me that once it's done and dusted, I'll go back and read it as a whole and see whether I think it's worth reading or not.
Is this one of the stories that they don't come out every month? So sometimes you may lose.
No, I think this one's been pretty. Yeah, I think this one's been pretty regular. Yeah.
It seems like the kind of book that you really have to read when you're in a quiet room, so there's distractions around you to really understand what the premise of this storyline is. You know, but Jeff Lemire, I have been reading his books and they're very entertaining. You know, so
yeah.
We got a message here from Fuzzy about this book. I believe I read issue 1, didn't quite get it, and then they announced it was printed out of order, so they reissued it, but I never read on.
I didn't know that, Fuzzy. That might be why I didn't understand issue 1. Yeah.
And this book just came out like a couple of weeks ago, just issue number 1. I'm hoping, the first read was very interesting. It's called Moon Man. This is here in this extra length first issue. This is of the biggest book of 2024. Ramon is ready for a quiet life. Whatever went wrong on that failed moon mission, whatever happened in the missing minutes, and there were 7 minutes that they can't account for, the camera didn't capture. All he really wants is to settle down back home. But these missing minutes hold an earth-shattering secret. And when all eyes turn to him, Ramon will soon find himself becoming something the world has never seen before. I read issue number 1. Like I said, it's the first. They come back from a failed moon landing, like 50 years after the first moon landing, but they can't account for 7 minutes. And this main character, Ramon, he starts showing like something happened to him, because he starts seeing like these visions, and they're all like psychedelic looking. And he starts gaining some powers. And his brother says, "I didn't know you could fly." He goes, "I'm not actually flying. I'm shifting." So it's a very unique storyline, and the artwork is like psychedelic a little bit, So like I said, issue number 1 just came out, and so hopefully it's going to be a mini series, and it's one of the books that I recommend reading. So it's different, So, and okay, back to the past. Let me bring this up if I can find it here. This is my little intro video for this one. That little video is courtesy of Canva, by the way.
Very cool. Yeah. Which one is which? Which one's you and which one's me in that image?
I don't know.
I'm Marty McFly.
You can be Marty.
Yeah.
You're Marty. Yeah. Okay, these are basically, another segment. I said, Peter, why don't we start doing a little bit different things? We just picked 2 covers from the past that we really like. So these obviously is not part of the advanced orders, but these are just 2 books back in the day. And you're up first.
what more do you need to say? This is
Yeah.
Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars issue number 1. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it's amazing. But this cover just always jumps out at me. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it. It's been homaged to death. There's loads of different variations of this. There's a foil version came out a couple of months back, which I've got 3 copies of. I just love it. I just think it looks stunning. That's my era in design for the Marvel characters. That's in my head when I think of Captain America, Cyclops, Wolverine, whatever. That's what I see in my head. I just love it. The series itself has got its problems. It was obviously designed primarily to sell action figures. It's the first real kind of big crossover kind of book. But yeah, it's got its issues, but I still enjoy that actual series as a decent read. But yeah, cover itself, just stunning, with amazing artwork by Mike Zeck. So yeah, love it.
I love this cover. This is the era that I really enjoyed the crossover events.
Yeah.
Just when all these characters got together and they fought. This is when Magneto, too, in this series, when it was heroes against villains, and for some reason Magneto was put with the heroes.
Yeah.
So I think it foretold that even though he's technically a villain, he's trying to do what's right.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I love this cover, and I have one by Alex Ross, this cover too.
Yeah.
The whole book. It's like, oh my God, it's such an awesome looking cover. Yeah. So my pick, I almost picked the same book that I picked last month. So I said, let me go back to last month's video and check it, because I had a feeling that I picked this one. I was going to pick the Supergirl one when she dies, in Infinite Earths. Yeah. I was going to pick that one again. For some reason, that's always stuck in my head. Yeah. But good thing I double checked. But my pick, and to me, this is when this character, he was popular before, but once this issue came out, I think it put him into another level. And this is Uncanny X-Men number 133. This is drawn by the great John Byrne. This is when Wolverine is basically out on his own against the Hellfire Club. They have defeated all the other X-Men. This is when Jean Grey was having, issues, and she was, really confused because Mastermind was, manipulating her. But they beat all the X-Men, and we thought Wolverine was done too. But he comes out of the sewers and he says something like, "It's my turn." Yeah. That was the end of that issue number 132, and then 133 just shows him going all out against the Hellfire Club. And to me, this is, ultimate Wolverine. I love this cover.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. It's a classic, an absolute classic.
And of course, it's written by Chris Claremont, who to me, to this day, is still the best X-Men writer. So okay.
Great pick.
And Read of the Week. These are just the 2 books that are coming out next week that we're looking forward to be reading. And you're up first, Peter.
I'm loving this run. I'm loving this Daredevil run. I didn't think I was going to, because I'm a big fan of the last series, and I kind of enjoyed the end of that last series. So I went into this a bit hesitant, but it is great. This is good fun. Basic premise is that deadly sins are inhabiting members of the Marvel universe, and Daredevil's got to kind of free them. So we've had She-Hulk kind of possessed and things like that. And in this issue, we've got Wolverine. You can't go wrong with a Wolverine versus Daredevil fight. So yeah, I think this will be class.
I'm not a fan of this cover.
No, me neither. I don't like this art style, but
yeah, I just noticed that Wolverine has his claws. He is stabbing Daredevil. Yeah, look at the bottom. His claws are in him. I went, dang. Yeah. So yeah, but I agree with you. This series, they keep on reinventing Daredevil. He comes back again, and he's a priest. Yeah. Selfless of his religion and his faith. But yeah, I've been reading the story, and it's really cool. And mine is Predator. Mm-hmm. I just read issue number 1 about a week ago, and this book took me completely by surprise. This is a really good storyline. It says the hunt continues, hunt, kill, repeat for years. Theta has hunted and killed predators in her search for the one that killed her parents. So it's just basically a woman. She's on a mission to kill the predators who killed her family, and she's adapted some of the predators like armor. If you look at the helmet on the bottom left-hand side, it almost looks like the predator's armor. So she has been using their powers against them too. Issue number 1 just came out, like I said, a couple of weeks ago. It's a really good storyline.
Yeah, I think I read issue 1. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it from memory.
Yeah, it took me completely by surprise. I went, that's a good story. I like this, And
good
I think
stuff.
that's it. Yeah, we are done for this month. We'll see you next week. Let me get rid of the slide here. Peter, what are you going to be doing in the next half hour?
Well, thank you for asking, everyone. I will be over on the Killer Comic Show where we're reviewing Avengers, Twilight, and Transformers, and talking all kinds of comic-y, geeky stuff. So yeah, please do go and check that out at 9 o'clock over on the Killer Comic Show channel.
See, yeah, Fuzzy agrees. Wow, I must be doing something right when Fuzzy agrees, with some of my picks. First time reading Predator 2. Yeah, it's a good storyline. But until next time, everybody, in basically 1 month, we'll be back on Peter's channel doing the same thing all over again. And it's easier when it's on Peter's channel because I just got to send him the pictures and he's got to do getting all the slides ready, So, but Peter, anything else coming up on your channel besides in 30 minutes? It's not going to be on your channel, but what you have going on your channel.
So Friday night over on One Good Scare Show, we've got our 9 o'clock kind of horror roundup. That's going to be a premiere because I'm out tomorrow night, but myself and James will hopefully be in the chat. So that's 9 o'clock covering all the latest news. Saturday night we'll be doing our Saturday night live show, and I can't remember what we've got planned for Monday night. We will have something, but I can't remember.
We'll make the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters review. Yeah,
I recommend checking out One Good Scare. The Leprechaun one was good. You guys recommended it. Listen to it, man. So, I don't think I'm ever going to see that movie. I never knew Jennifer Aniston was even in that movie. I was like, wow. So that was our first film. But I like your review. I like the banter between you guys. So
thank you, friend. Appreciate it.
But until next time, everybody, we will be back, like I said, in 30 days for our usual show. Everybody, be safe and take care. Bye.